I will bet Joe Biden right now, right here in front of millions of listeners, $1 million that he has the power today, right this minute, to secure the border. To take steps to secure the border. He doesn't need this legislation. He has a power that has been used under different authorities for more than half a century by presidents of both parties. $1 million. Right now. Enough of this conga line of ruling class liars and propagandists, Democrats, media, special interests telling us they need some more legislation. I can get on the phone with Biden right now. Probably need an interpreter because I don't speak gibberish and that's his language, and tell him exactly how to do it. $1 million. He can use his communist Chinese money. I'll use real American money. That he can secure the border starting tonight. Now, there's a lot going on the floor of the House, so I want to speak to what's being voted on and what's being discussed. First, to my friends in the Freedom Caucus, you're going to have a bill come to the floor on whether you're going to support munitions for Israel. Never again means never again. Not never again with IRS offsets. We're over $300 trillion in debt. And munitions for Israel changes none of it. The debt is largely, hugely on autopilot, with most of it resulting from so-called entitlements. Most of these Republicans and others don't have the guts to tackle that. Period. If they do, where's the proposal? From the Freedom Caucus or anybody else? As for discretionary spending, we need members of Congress who will use their heads, prioritize $1 from the other. You don't slash defense spending, as an example, to fund EVs and every other left-wing project to offset. As I said earlier on radio the other day, the Democrats won't be in the minority forever, and they will blow through any debt limit, as they always do, since one Congress cannot force another Congress to adhere to its decisions. That said, I'm for shutting down the government if that's what it takes this budget cycle to deal with what's in front of us right now. Profligate spending and borrowing. But these so-called spending budget hawks have done absolutely nothing to promote permanent changes, which can only be achieved through Article 5 Convention of States. There is no other way. Some of them give it lip service, but rarely and barely. Others even oppose it. None of them have lifted a finger to actively and relentlessly support it in the states. Not one of them. I've looked and I've checked. They haven't even formed an organized effort, a serious effort to support it. Instead, they beat their chest, they bang their heads against the wall, and accomplished little, in fact, accomplished nothing. So, Mark, why is Israel different, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. Among many other things, and I've discussed them over the weeks, our history, our ancient history as Jews, Christians, and yes, Muslims, began there, in the state of Israel, and are gravely threatened there. They are gravely threatened. And the terrorists and terrorist nations that surround Israel. Israel is surrounded. They seek to wipe out the Jews, destroy all vestiges of Judaism and Christianity, all the holy places mentioned in the Bible, all links to our ancient faiths, just like the Taliban in Afghanistan, which has destroyed thousands-year-old Buddhist and other holy sites and monuments, to wipe out any other faith. And in the Middle East, it's Judaism and Christianity that they seek to wipe out. These Islamists, the terrorists, are executing a new crusade. It's an Islamist crusade. And you know what? They'll tell you as much. Go on the internet. Read Hamas's mission statement. Read it all. They don't hide it. They seek to wipe out Jews and Judaism. They seek to wipe out Christians and Christianity. They seek to wipe out Muslims who disagree with them. They seek to wipe out the West and anyone or anything that stands in their way. That's what Israel's fighting. We're not fighting it. Biden's put our troops in harm's way. He's getting them killed. They're not fighting anything. They're just sitting there like clay pigeons to be shot at as targets. And Iran is within weeks. I just read this report today. It's available for you. It's on the internet. Within weeks, one account is 1 week, of actually having the nuclear weapon they have publicly and desperately sought for 20 years. Then what? Then what? With one nuclear strike, they can destroy thousands of years of civilization. They can destroy an American city. They can destroy whatever they target. What then? We're talking about $14 billion. The one country that's on the front line. It's the tiniest country. 7 million people trying to defend the West, trying to defend Judaism and Christianity, and yes, peaceful Muslims. One country. And they need more munitions. They're not big enough to have a military industry. They're not big enough. They don't have enough resources. Their citizens come out of the bakery shops. They come out of the electrician union. They come out of their taxis. They come out. They put on the uniform. Every family is affected. Fighting this crusade, every damn one of them. Defending Jerusalem, defending Bethlehem, defending Hebron, defending the birthplace of Jesus Christ, defending the patriarchs and most of the matriarchs, defending our churches and our synagogues. They're the only ones. Nobody else. Nobody. Open your Bible. Look at the holy sites. That's where they are. $14 billion. And I got to sit here and talk about offsetting $14 billion. $300 friggin' trillion. The Israelis are shedding blood to protect our faiths and our history. They are the only ones on the front line of this war. They are the only ones fighting against this crusade. The Biden regime is providing tens of billions of dollars to the Islamist Nazi crusaders. The regime in Iran, virtually every terrorist group surrounding the state of Israel, while demanding that Israel surrender its country to the very genocidal maniacs who are trying to wipe them out. And Biden doesn't give a damn about offsets. Neither will any Democrat president or Congress that follows. It's a matter of prioritization. When and where you throw down the gauntlet. When and where you throw down the gauntlet. It is time that conservatives, above all others, use their heads. Get smart. Have serious strategies to actually achieve desperately needed results and breathe life back into our Republican Constitution without surrendering civilization to these barbaric crusaders who seek to destroy our histories, our faiths, and our Bible. That's what the vote is about. That's why the Speaker of the House, a religious man, has stripped out this as a standalone bill because Schumer, a self-hater, because Hakeem Jeffries, who comes from a family of anti-Semites, because Joe Biden, who is a backstabbing lowlife. They insist that only will Israel get munitions. only will Israel survive. Only will our holy sites of Judaism, Christianity, and yes, Islam survive. If they vote for more aid for other countries, if they vote to keep our border open. Now, we don't want them to vote for that, do we? So what's the alternative? The Speaker of the House has provided an alternative. Anybody from the Freedom Caucus or the conservative movement who makes these claims and votes against defending Western civilization against these Islamist crusaders, I can never support. This isn't some usual bill. This is life and death.